Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective tarot for today. Today is Saturday, August 9th, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk, the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I was going to say take what resonates, take what doesn't. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, bellissimo. God loves that for you. We love that for you. Whatever does not, leave it on the table for someone else. You do not need that BS, okay? If you don't feel it in your bones, it ain't for you. We're going to use Intuitive City Oracle. You can find this at intuitiveintention.com, My Intuitive Intention on Etsy. And Rob Barthelman also sells his decks in the TikTok shop. Usually a few bucks off in the TikTok shop if you're interested. I feel like a turd because in June he sent me an email with like a 20% off or 15% off, and I was gonna buy a deck to give away, and I just totally flubbed it. We got one on the table and it's in reverse, two on the table. Geez, when I did the Twisted Oracle, that fell out like crazy too. We got two on the table, one card in reverse. I got a hair on me. Ah! What the? We got four on the table, one card in reverse, one major. Somebody thinking about ice cream? Because all of a sudden I feel like I need to tell this story about something that happened at work, and it's stupid. It's not even. I was standing there picking. I was relieving somebody for their break because I was actually unpacking on Friday, and one of the guys took over for the person next to me, and he's talking to the girl next to him, and then all of a sudden he turns to me and he goes, "Hey, Kim," and I'm like, "Hey, so and so," and he goes, "Man, it's really warm up here." He's like, "You know what I wish we had?" And I literally just turned to him and I said, "Ice cream." And he goes, "Yeah, how did you know?" I don't know who that's for. I don't know who needed to hear that. Somebody wants ice cream? Go get yourself some ice cream, baby. I highly recommend Fat Boys. Their ice cream sandwiches, they're huge. I think they're like 300 or 400 calories a piece, but they're made with like real cream in the ice cream. They're delicious. They are delicious. And I was at Walmart last night getting some stuff, and they had different flavors there. They had like a birthday cake. They had the mint one, which I've had that one before. I think they had like a caramel one or something. Then they had miniature ones. I was like, where did the mini ones come from? They're very good. I highly recommend. I know 400 calories. I know that's a lot. I think it's like 280 or 380 for one of the big ones. I don't think that's that bad. I mean, if it's going to be your only sweet treat for the day, I don't think that's that bad. We got 6 on the table. We've got 1 in reverse, and we've got 2 major. Let's do 2 more shuffles. Actually, now I'm tempted to look at my calorie counter because it's probably in there. 7 on the table. 1 card in reverse, 2 cards major. Last shuffle. 8 on the table. 9 on the table. Oh, 10 with bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. 3 of wands, 2 of wands. 5 of wands, 8 of wands. A lot of wands at the bottom of the deck. Top of the deck. That's interesting. I think that was top of the deck yesterday, wasn't it? Didn't I show like a little mini read? Knight of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, Temperance, 4 of Swords. I could have sworn the Knight of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords was at the top of the deck. Not with the Emperor card, with the Death card, I think. It's like somebody wants to leave like a relationship or a commitment to a situation, but they're like really in their head about it. I will just say this, like if you are ever in a relationship or even a workplace where you're being abused, get the fuck out of there. like just get the hell out of there. And I know that sounds like it's easier said than done, but seriously. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. We've got the Moon. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Star. Okay, why did I not tell you that we had more... that we had more major cards than we did? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at the end. We got 7 Pentacles. We got Page of Cups. We've got the 8 of Cups. I don't know why I said it like that. We've got the High Priest, bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to say this. With this 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, when those 3 cards first fell out, all I heard was they're not happy with them. Like someone's not happy with another person. And again, take how it resonates for you, family. Like this literally could be a family looking at a family member and being like, what the hell are you doing? It could be one person looking at another person. It gives me the energy of like one against the many, if that makes sense. So like, let's say we've got 2 parents and we've got 2 kids, but the 2 kids are adults, right? The 2 parents and the 1 kid is looking at the 1 kid and being like, who do you think you are? What do you think you're doing? Like, where are you going? Why are you leaving? How come you do this? Why do you do that? I just heard Stepford Child. The clown. The wolf in sheep's clothing. Not the family, the person. It's an ostracized person. Really, let's be honest. Somebody's being ostracized from a family. They're the wolf in sheep's clothing because they probably went along their whole life just playing along and pretending to be nice. But then at the end of the day, they were like, fuck you and fuck this. And you will have to take how this resonates for you, if this resonates. Like this could literally be, this could be like to like a spouse, right? To a couple, and the one spouse is like, I'm leaving, and the other spouse is like, the hell you are. This could be like a mom or a dad telling the one kid, like, who do you think you are? What do you think you're going to do? Where do you think you're going to go? You think you're so special? It could technically be a whole family, a whole unit of people, a group of people confronting another person and telling them, like, you're nothing, you can't do anything. Where do you think you're going? What do you think you're doing? It's just very negative. It's just very negative energy. Like either someone or someone's not wanting to let a person go. But whoever that person is that's going, with the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Moon card, like this person is coming to the realization, like, um I have my own dreams and desires, my own wants and my own needs, and it doesn't involve you, it doesn't involve any of you. Like, I need to move on, I need to do my own thing, I need to go my own way. It kind of, what is that called, in Amish communities, where the kids turn, like, was it 17 or 18 or 16, I don't know, they turn a certain age, and they're allowed to, like, go off into the world and, like, do their own thing for what, like a year or 6 months or something. And then if they decide they don't want to come back, they don't have to come back to the Amish community. That's a thing, right? What the hell is that called? No. What are you doing? Rumspringa. Amish youth during their period of Rumspringa are free to experience the outside world and explore non-Amish life. They can choose not to be baptized and remain outside the Amish church, which is a less severe form of leaving. Even after baptism, individuals can choose to leave the Amish community. Amish individuals generally are allowed to leave their community, but the consequences of leaving, particularly after baptism, can be significant. While they are free to leave, they may be shunned by the community and their return is not guaranteed. So this is very much like leaving an abusive family situation or an abusive spouse or something like that. No, that can't be right. Wait, why did why did I do that? Oh, for God's sakes. Stop it. So hold on a second. Okay, it's saying that a Fat Boy ice cream sandwich is 210 calories. Don't quote me on it. It's saying a mini one is 110. Don't quote me on it. Because sometimes the calorie counter thing is a little off, because usually, like, they input their information, then technically if I eat something and it's not in there, I can add it in and other people can see it and use it. Anyway, anywho, like, this is somebody, like, in a family, like an abusive environment, like again, we'll say like a mom and a dad and two kids. And, the one kid is, like the angel and they get treated well and they can do whatever they want. And they can't do anything wrong. And then there's the other kid, like they get treated like shit. Everything they do is wrong. And this is like somebody waking up and saying, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough and I'm leaving. And they get shunned from this family, right? Not allowed to come back, whatever the case, or they feel like they can't go back. That's probably what part of this moon is realizing like this is abusive. This I need to leave. Like there's something wrong with this situation. I need to leave. Whether it took months, years to figure it out, decades, whoever is leaving to work on themselves, to realize their own dreams and desires, they're changing cycles. They're The wheel of fortune is changing for them, because when you break those karmic ties, when you break karmic cycles, when you break those generational curses, the wheel is going to change in your favor. And yeah, you can say the people, the family you were with, the spouse you were with, whatever the case, is going to get their karma. That is for God to decide. God will figure that out. You just need to go about your merry life and live your dream. Because look at this: the Star, Seven of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Eight of Cups, the High Priest. And you know what's funny? The card that, out of those five cards, the Page of Cups stands out to me the most, because it's like somebody finally getting to be a kid. When you take yourself out of situations that you could have possibly been in for years, decades, whether that's a marriage, whether that's a family unit, a friend circle, a job, right? Once you take yourself out of that karmic cycle, out of that place, you get to start over. You get to reimagine a life for yourself. And part of that is going back to your childhood and recognizing what you never got when you were a child. Whether you were mistreated when you were a child or not. Like that is one of the funnest parts, is getting to know yourself, be yourself, love yourself, and being a kid, acting like a kid, doing stupid stuff and not having somebody, call you an idiot for it. You know? I've been there. I've been there. I come from an abusive background, an abusive family. Um, I don't usually talk about it because I don't really want to go into detail, because, I don't want to be sued by anybody. Uh, but it's my mother. uh, Highly abusive, has been for decades. And I just got sick and tired of it. And unfortunately, when I left and I went no contact, I went no contact with my dad and my brother too. Beginning of this year, circumstances changed, and I'm in contact with my brother and my dad. I'm not in contact with her. Um, and it's bittersweet because I get to see them, but they still haven't fully broken away. They still have that mindset that she's the boss. Yeah, I don't have that mindset. I haven't had that mindset in like a year and a half. Like I left that behind. Last time I talked to my mother was, I think, like last November-ish, October, November, when her brother-in-law passed away. I let her know that he passed away. And she didn't have anything positive to say. She didn't have anything good to say. It wasn't a good conversation. Why would I want to talk to her again? This reminds me of that. This definitely reminds me of that. There is not a day that goes by that I don't regret walking out that door. And when I went no contact, it was because I was told I was disowned. And okay, you want to sever that tie, then we'll sever that tie. And as soon as she told me I was disowned, I went no contact. She tried to reach out like a week, couple, like I would say like the next 2 to 3 months, she kept trying to reach out, but it was abusive, right? Because that's all she knows. And I'm not gonna. I didn't respond to anything. I didn't respond to one damn thing. And I think last year, I want to say my brother texted me at Christmas, Thanksgiving, something like that. And I texted him back, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, whatever. I left it at that. And it wasn't until like, I think late February of this year that I got back into contact. Um, it's not difficult once you realize how much peace you have not having to deal with that. It's not difficult to stay away at all when you realize that you don't have to be involved in that. You don't have to put up with that. You're too old, you're too old for that, Kimmy. You don't need to put up with that anymore. And I have absolutely no plans to get back into contact with her. None. Absolutely not. No. Do I love her? Of course, she's my mom. She gave birth to me. She sacrificed for me. Of course I love her. I also recognize after working on myself and healing myself, right? I also recognize that she herself went through trauma. She herself was probably abused as a kid, as an adult. She has mental health issues. I get it. But there was a point when she had the option, when God looked at her and said, Hey, you can be a better person now. Get your shit together. And she said, No, I think I'm going to stay where I am. That was a choice. You get to make choices throughout your life. And she made the choice to be abusive and to stay that way. I made the choice to leave. It's that simple. She could have healed herself. She could have went to therapy, gotten on drugs, whatever she needed. Whatever help she needed, she could have gotten. She refused. She could have broken that generational curse. I broke the generational curse. And it's funny because it ran through her sister's family. When I called to tell her about her brother in law, that sister who passed away years ago, her family, that whole same thing. Different, right? Slightly different, but same thing ran through their family. My cousin Pam, if you're watching, my cousin Pam, she's the one that broke that curse. She's the one that got away. She's the one that wouldn't put up with their bullshit. I won't go back to that. I won't expose myself to that. Hell no. I will never do that again. And I'm not saying that I could never see her, in passing or something like that. I could. The funny thing is I would have an adult interaction. In my mind, we would have an adult interaction, and in her mind, she would just yell and scream at me and call me names. This resonates. And I went through all of this myself, tapping into my spirituality side, coming clean about how I've always believed in God, but I hid it because I felt like I couldn't talk about it. I mean, who feels shame about believing in God? Whether I think of a traditional God or how I really think of them as energy, as us, as everything. You have to feel shame about your beliefs, about who you are. It's fucking ridiculous. And to grow up in a family where you feel like that, like seriously, it's sad. And I don't even think I really thought about my cousin and what she did and how she got away and how she got out. But I know when I left, I just remember thinking about all the other people I have heard of in the past that have done the same thing. Stories on TikTok, stories on Facebook, stories in medical journals about how, people leave their families because they're abusive and they don't go back. My left ear is ringing. That's what gave me the courage to leave, is knowing that there's millions of other women and men out there that have left their abusive families and they haven't gone back, and they've been doing this for decades, hundreds of years. People quietly packing their bag and leaving in the middle of the night and never going back, because nobody should have to put up with shit like that. And I know I've talked to you guys too about, you know, being alone and just me and the cats. And uh, yes, it can get lonely sometimes, like, because I've said before, like, I still want a person. I still want a companion at some point. I want my soulmate. Hello, I want my soulmate. But at the same time, like, I enjoy my peace and quiet. I enjoy my time alone. Because when I was younger, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I got ordered around and told to do this, that, and the other, and had to do things that I shouldn't have had to do, like, and I'm not going to go into details about it, but just, yeah, it's nice to live on your own, to be on your own, to be able to do whatever you want on your day off, to not to have to hear somebody bitch at you like, you're going to do that when you should be doing this. Don't you think you should do this? Don't you think you should be like this? No, no, I don't. I think I should be like me, and I think I should do whatever the fuck I want. It's why I like being alone. I think that's why I've always liked being alone. I know last night I was talking about how I have only ever been in two real relationships, a boyfriend and then my ex husband. And then any other relationships I had were like friends with benefits, casual. And I liked it that way because I was still alone. Like, I didn't have to worry about somebody else's feelings or thoughts or anything like that. It was all about me, and then I was done. I've always been comfortable being alone because I had to be that way as a kid, because I didn't have the support. I didn't have like the parent that knew what they were doing and they were loving and caring every single day, all day. I didn't have that. And a lot of people don't. And everybody grows up different from it. Everybody learns a different lesson, right? It took me a long time to realize, like, I just need to get out of there and not look back. Whoever this is, somebody inspired them to leave. Somebody inspired them to break away or something. And they might have taken their time walking away from whatever this situation was. Again, this doesn't have to be like a kid leaving their parent. This can be a spouse leaving their spouse, you know? This could be somebody leaving a job where they have an abusive boss. It doesn't have to be the same as my story. What's your story? It all resonates. And I've said this how many times? How many readings have I said this? If you follow, if you subscribe, we are there's a reason why when you watch readers, tarot readers, oracle readers on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, there's a reason why some of the stories are the same. We all live the same type of life events. We all have the same types of things happen to us in life. We've all been had our hearts broken. We've all broken hearts. We've all been abused. We've all been the abuser. Like, think about it. We've all experienced a lot of the same situations. We're all the same. At some point, at some level, we're all the same. We're all just humans trying to make it through this existence, trying not to fail, trying not to make mistakes. But when you do, you learn from them and you move on, right? Life is all about patience. Life is all about taking your time and going at your own pace and doing what you need to do for you. Some of us wake up a lot sooner, some of us wake up a lot later. I didn't wake up till I was 43. Well, I woke up when I was 42, but I didn't leave that situation until I was 43. And it's funny because when I see the 8 of Cups and the High Priest together, like, to me this is just proof positive that, like, somebody did the right thing for themselves. Somebody is healing themselves, somebody is moving on, somebody is building something for themselves. And you don't even need to use your intuition for that. Anytime you need to protect yourself, take care of yourself, defend yourself, you do it. Again, sometimes it takes us a long time to figure out we can do that. We're all really strong, right? I think we're all strong. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of weird things today. Like, when they used to have, like, circuses, and they would have, like, yeah, they would have animals and stuff, but they would also have, like the freak show, and then they would have, like, I don't know where I'm seeing this, but and it's in black and white in my head. It's like a smaller, shorter man, like a midget or a dwarf, but like a little bit taller, I think. Like really strong, like a bodybuilder type with like a handlebar mustache, bald, no hair. They're wearing like a black and a white, like, tank top with like, I think shorts, not pants. And they're like lifting weights. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Adversity, maybe. We all fight adversity. Should all fight for adversity? Yeah. Fight against adversity. There we go. I'm also seeing like a large clock, like a larger than life-size clock. And like, but instead you have like a pendulum like swinging and somebody trying to hang on to the pendulum, but it's supposed to be like one of the arms of the clock and someone's holding on to it and it's just swinging back and forth. Baby, you do not need to hold on to anything. Let go. Let go. Do not be afraid to let go of anything or anyone. If you need to let go of something, if you need to let go of a person, let go. If you need to let go of yourself to find yourself, let go. And I think I'm going to leave it at that because I feel like I've talked about this long enough. I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all are having a great weekend or whatever day it is, wherever it is in this beautiful world for you. I will talk to you later.